Hello students, welcome to Patak's Computer Academy online classes. In the previous video, we learned about basics of RDBMS. Today we will see various different keys that can be used in relational database. Okay? So, the contents today we covered: introduction about the key, then what is key, and after that we will discuss types of keys. Okay, so let's start with the introduction. Why we need keys? So there is a rule defined by EF code, that is, the tuples within a relation must be distinct. Okay, so if there are 4 columns in a table, so if 2 rows are identical, that cannot be accepted. There must be at least one value of any column are distinct within these 2 rows. Okay, that's why I have written over here. It means 2 tuples in a table should have same values for all attributes is not applicable. Okay, it must be distinct. Distinct means unique, value should be different, and there is no null values, because null values cannot be recognizable. That's why 2 null value cannot be compared. Okay, so you have to be very careful that data should be unique and data cannot be null. Okay, if these 2 things are kept together, then we can uniquely distinguish each tuple of a relation. For example, if there is a student table in a college database, then university roll number, with the help of university roll number, we can fetch all the information related to that roll number. For example, name, student father's name, phone number, email ID, course that he opted, and many more. Okay, so I think it is very clear to you that why keys are needed. Keys are needed to uniquely distinguish each row of a table. That's it. So we can define a key in DBMS is an attribute or a set of attributes that help to uniquely identify a tuple in a relation. Okay. Second important point is that keys are also used to establish relationship between various different tables. We will learn foreign key. Don't worry. To define the relationship between 2 or more tables. Other than this, the primary motive of the key is to provide every record with a unique identity. Okay? So I hope now you are understand that what is key. So here you can see the example of student table where there are some columns, ID, name, address, and course. So here ID can be unique for each student. Okay, name can, two student name can be the same. So it cannot be a key. Address can also be the same in an exceptional way, like two brother or sister are studying in the same class. Okay. Here, there are various things or various columns that can be used as a key, like passport number, license number, or social security number. That is assigned in US. In India, Aadhaar number is assigned to each citizen of India, through which all the information related to that citizen can be fetched. So I hope you understand why key is an important element. So there are various types of keys such as candidate key, primary key, foreign key, super key, alternate key, composite key, unique key. But in your course, only 4 is to be considered. So I will discuss these 4 and one extra key, that is composite. Why? We will see later on. Don't worry, because it is related to primary. So let's start with the candidate key. I'm going to give you the example through which you can understand. There is an election conducted in the country for PM candidate. So every party gives the name of their candidate that are stand up for becoming a PM. Congress voted for Rahul Gandhi, for example. BJP voted for Narendra Modi ji. Aam Aadmi Party gives the name of Arvind Kejriwal, and other parties elected Mamta Banerjee as a candidate of PM. So there are 4 candidates that are actually fighting for becoming a prime minister. All 4 are eligible to become a prime minister. But at the end of election, only one can be PM. The same philosophy is here. A relation can have one or more attributes that takes distinct values. Okay. And we know that if with the help of any attribute, we can uniquely identify each and every row of the table, then that column become a key. Okay. So Such attributes are called candidate keys. Why? Because each of them are candidates for the primary. So here you can see the example. In employee table, there are a lot of columns. For example, employee ID, Aadhaar number, passport number, voter ID, etc. that are considered as candidate key. Why? Because every person have unique Aadhaar number, every person have unique passport number, and every person working in the company have unique employee ID. Okay, so all can become a primary key. So all are considered as candidate. I hope you understand. Now moving on. Here you can see the example. There is a table employee. So employee ID, passport number, license number, and SSN number all are considered as candidate key. But between these four candidate key, only one can become a primary key. So here, this is the definition that the primary key refers to a column or a set of columns for a table that help us to identify all the records uniquely present in that table. So two things have to be considered for primary key. For primary key, column have unique value. Okay. Plus no value can be not null. No row can be go blank. If these two philosophy are, are kept, then that column become a primary key. So here I have taken employee ID as the primary key for employee table. Here, employee ID become the primary key, while all these three can also have the property to become a primary key. But I have considered based on some documentation that this is an employee table. So employee ID can be more replicable or more authenticated. Now, what is composite primary key, or you can say that composite key? Sometimes there is a situation where with the help of only one column, we cannot uniquely identify each and every row of the table. So we need more than one column to identify or to fetch data uniquely. For example, here you can see that in employee relation, we assume that an employee may assign multiple roles. Okay. One employee can be a principal and can be a teacher. And an employee may work on multiple projects. For example, if one employee is a teacher plus they are assigning to do some more thing like he or she is also responsible to give training to some sharp students simultaneously. So the primary key will become composed of all three attributes. So what they are? First of all, employee ID. Second one, employee role. What is the role? And then project ID. All three will become single entity, and that with the help of these three values, we can uniquely identify each and every row of the table. Then that primary key is known as composite key. That's it. There's no such other philosophy. One thing has to be remembered, if with the help of only one and one column we can uniquely identify, then that key is primary key. If it is not possible, then we are looking for further columns to add. If there is a two columns with the help of to find uniquely each tuple, then these two column become a primary key. Because of two column, it is known as composite. Okay, so here you can see that employee ID, employee role, and project ID, all three values are needed to uniquely identify each and every row of the table employee. So it becomes composite. Next one is alternate key. It is very simple. Whatever you left in the candidate key, which can be become the primary key, that remaining attributes are known as alternate key. Here I have written over here, out of one or more candidate keys, the attribute chosen by the database designer to uniquely identify the tuples in a relation is called the primary key. Okay. The remaining attribute in the list of candidate keys are called the alternate key. Or you can say that in a simple way, a candidate key of a table which is not selected as primary key are called its alternate key. So the previous example, employee ID become the primary key. So all the remaining like passport number, Aadhaar number are called alternate key. Okay, clear? What is alternate key? So here you can see that employee ID become the primary key. So PAN number is also a unique number for each employee. So that number become an alternate key. And the combination of these two keys are known as candidate key. Now the last and but the most important key, that is foreign key. Foreign key is used to represent the relationship between two relations. Or you can say that relationship between two tables. Okay. So a foreign key is an attribute whose value is derived from the primary key of another relation. What it means? It means any attribute of a relation which is used to refer contents from another relation becomes foreign key if it refers to the primary key of the referenced relation. I think it is very confusing. I'm giving you the example through which you can easily understand. Here, every employee works in a specific department, okay, in any company. So, employee and department are two different entities, or you can say that two different tables. So we cannot store the department's information in employee table. There are a lot of information that is to be stored that are related to only department. That are There's no such use that are stored in employee record. But there is a link that each and every employee are linked with some department. That one employee is working in electrical department, one employee is working in office, one employee is working in another department, and so on. So there is a need to link that two tables. So how? So we add the primary key of the department table, that is department ID, in to on as a new attribute in employee table. That's it. We are going to add one column, and that one column is the primary key of another table, that is department. And then in the employee table, department ID become the foreign key, and with the help of this column, both the tables are related. Here, this is something I have written wrong. This table is known as department. Okay. So I'm not going to include various columns. I have just taken that department ID and department name. So if I want to fetch the name of the department for a particular employee, so how it is possible? It is only possible if these two tables are linked each other. So how to link? With the help of foreign key. And how to create foreign key? I am going to take the primary key of second table and put it as a new attribute in first table. So there is a relation between these two tables, employee and department, with the help of one column that is known as department ID. So here in employee table, department ID become the foreign key. I hope you understand why foreign key is needed. Foreign key is needed to link one table to another table. If you want to fetch some extra information that are not available in the particular table. So here, there is no such information that employee is working in which department. Why? Because department name is stored in another table. Okay. So that's all for today. Today we learned a lot of keys, candidate keys. I have given the example of election. I hope you understand what are the candidate keys. Then we learned about primary key. Primary key. Then we discussed alternate key, composite key, and at last we discussed foreign key. I hope you enjoyed the session. In the next class, we will discuss Introduction to SQL, structured query language, because it is very important to learn SQL before going to use any DBMS software like DB2, Oracle, or anything. Thank you very much.